Think about it. The very first thing you use every morning is your toilet. But did you know humans spent hundreds of thousands of years doing their business in forests, open fields, and riverbanks? No doors, no privacy, no flush. And when humans finally built the first enclosed room for this purpose, it was such a groundbreaking invention that its basic principle is still used today. Today we're taking you on a journey, starting from the Stone Age and ending at the bathroom in your own home. Trust me, after this video, you will never look at your toilet the same way again. Let's get into it. Hundreds of thousands of years ago, when humans lived as hunter-gatherers with a nomadic lifestyle, they had no homes and no permanent settlements. Naturally, with no home, there was no question of a toilet either. People simply went wherever they found space, in the forest, in an open field, or behind a rock. This wasn't seen as shameful at the time, because the human population was tiny and the earth was vast. Nature itself handled the cleanup. Rain, soil, and animals absorbed the waste back into the environment. Even today, some remote tribes in Africa and the Amazon rainforest follow this same practice. But as soon as humans settled down, meaning when agriculture began roughly 10,000 years ago, a new problem emerged. As people started living permanently in one place, leaving waste out in the open became a major cause of disease. This is when humans began to realize this problem needed a permanent solution. Now let's talk about a civilization that stunned the world. The Indus Valley Civilization, present in the areas of Mohenjo-Daro and Harappa in modern-day Pakistan, roughly 4,500 years ago. You'll be proud to hear this. Evidence of the world's first flush-style toilets comes from this very region. Homes in Mohenjo-Daro had brick-built toilets attached to the wall of the house, connected to a drain that fed directly into the larger street drainage system. These drains were fully covered so that dirt and odor wouldn't enter the home. Think about it. 4,500 years ago, while most of the world was still relieving themselves in open fields, South Asia already had an organized sewage system. This was one of the most advanced examples of urban planning of its time. Archaeologists believe this was the very foundation from which the concept of sewage systems eventually spread across the world. Now let's move to Egypt. In ancient Egypt, pharaohs and wealthy households had toilet seats made of wood or stone, placed over a box-like container. This box was filled with sand or limestone, and special attendants would empty and clean it regularly. But this comfort was reserved only for the rich. Ordinary, poorer people continued going to open spaces or the banks of the Nile River, just as before. In Egypt, this divide was very clear. The wealthier you were, the better your facilities. Now let's talk about the Roman Empire, where the concept of the toilet took on an entirely new form. The Romans built massive public latrines, where multiple seats were lined up in a single row, with no walls or curtains separating them. People would sit together, chat, and joke around while doing their business. In today's world, this sounds bizarre, but back then, it was completely normal. And here's the most shocking part. There was no toilet paper. Instead, people used a sea sponge tied to a wooden stick called a tersorium. This sponge was dipped in salt water or vinegar, and after use, it was rinsed and left for the next person. Yes, it was a shared object. It's hard to even imagine that today. The Romans also had an impressive sewage system called the Cloaca Maxima, which carried the entire city's waste into the Tiber River. After the fall of the Roman Empire, sanitation standards in Europe dropped drastically. Medieval castles had small rooms called garderobes, which jutted out from the castle walls. Waste would fall directly into the moat or ditch below. In ordinary towns, people would collect waste in containers called chamber pots and simply dump them out of windows into the street at night. Many would shout a warning before doing so, but plenty of unlucky passersby still ended up as direct targets. This is exactly why European cities of this era were plagued by terrible smells and disease, and this filth was a major contributor to outbreaks like the plague. Here's an important point worth mentioning. While Europe was drowning in filth, Islamic civilization made cleanliness a core part of religious practice and set an entirely different standard. In Islam, ritual cleansing, istinja,
and purity were given serious importance, and the use of water was made essential. This is why cities of the Muslim world, Baghdad, Cairo, Cordoba, and Damascus, had bathhouse and toilet systems far superior to Europe's at the time. Muslim engineers put significant effort into drainage and sanitation systems,
and these traditions later spread to other parts of the world as well. China had a fascinating system known as the pig toilet. The household toilet was directly connected to the pig pen, and human waste fed directly into the animal's feeding cycle. This method was used for centuries in rural China, aimed not at wasting the waste, but recycling it back into the system. Now let's get to the question you've probably been waiting for. Who actually invented the modern flush toilet? It started in 1596 when English poet and inventor John Harrington designed a toilet for Queen Elizabeth I that used the force of water to flush away waste. This was the world's first documented flush toilet, but it didn't catch on at the time because ordinary people had neither running water nor a sewage system to support it. The real breakthrough came in 1775, when Scottish inventor Alexander Cumming patented a design featuring the S-trap, a curved pipe. This bend always held a small amount of water, which blocked sewer odors from rising back into the room. This is the exact same principle still used in every modern toilet today. Later, in the 19th century, an English businessman named Thomas Crapper refined the toilet's mechanism further and helped popularize it among the general public. His company played a major role in making flush toilets mainstream, which is why some people mistakenly believe he invented the toilet, when in reality, he only improved and popularized it. In the 19th century, cities like London grew so overcrowded that the sheer volume of waste polluted the River Thames so badly it was nicknamed the Great Stink. Because of this crisis, the London government was forced in 1858 to build a massive underground sewage system, which played a huge role in controlling outbreaks of diseases like cholera. This was the moment the world realized the toilet wasn't just a convenience, it was a matter of public health. From this point on, having a toilet and sewage connection in every home gradually became a basic necessity. So there you have it, humanity's journey across hundreds of thousands of years, from open forests to the drains of Mohenjo-Daro, from Egypt's sand-filled seats to Rome's shared sponges, and from medieval stench to today's sparkling ceramic toilets. Next time you press that flush button, remember, it's not just an ordinary object. It's the result of thousands of years of human struggle, civilization, and science. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe to the channel and let us know in the comments which era shocked you the most. See you in the next video with another fascinating piece of history.